Hello everyone, it's Julian from the blog What's It For? Today we're actually just back with a video review of the solar product from Zendure, the SolarFlow Hub 2000. So, what is the SolarFlow Hub 2000? Well, the SolarFlow Hub 2000 is this device that can be integrated into a kit available for purchase or used completely on its own. You can buy it by itself. It costs around 500 euros. With a battery, it's around 1500 euros. And the complete kit that I'm presenting to you is around 2000 euros. The complete kit includes solar panels, which I will show you right after. The 2000 Hub, the battery which is not visible and is just below, and the micro-inverter which is right here. So this amazing kit was very kindly sent to me by the wonderful team at Zendure. They just provided me with the media brief, which includes all the essential technical information, and that's it. I have no obligation to speak positively or negatively, and honestly, since I'm talking about it, you know that if I'm talking about it, it's because I really liked it. What is the principle of this Hub 2000? The principle is quite simple. Essentially, solar panels are basically connected to the input of the Hub 2000 right here. This Hub 2000 device is then connected to a battery. This system can inject power directly into the battery for storage or feed it back into the house using a micro-inverter. So, it's a plug-and-play self-consumption kit designed for efficiently managing energy, but with a battery system. This is different from the systems we know from BIM and Synology, where everything is perfect. We have solar panels, we plug them in, and all the unused electricity produced by the solar panels is automatically fed back into the grid for free. This means that at times, if we have multiple solar panels, we feed electricity back into the grid for free. It's not lost for everyone, which is beneficial as it generates electricity for Achetez and helps in reducing energy costs, but it's a shame because we could store this valuable electricity efficiently to use it later when there's no more sun. This is the main principle of this revolutionary system, the Hub 2000. To talk a bit more about the multitude of advanced technical features of this Hub 2000, what you need to know is that you can find detailed and extensive technical specifications on Zendure's comprehensive and informative website. And very honestly, they are not all understandable. So, I will try to explain it with what I have truly and deeply understood, and I have also spent quite a bit of time on social media, like the Zendure Facebook group, etc., and interacting with people. Since the Hub 2000 is rated for 2400 watts, 1800 watts, 1200 watts, and then we think, okay, that's why. So what you need to know is that the Hub 2000, which is a highly efficient solar power system, has two solar inputs, MPPT1 and MPPT2. Each solar input can handle up to 900 watts, making a total of 1800 watts. So the first figure you need to remember is 1800 watts, which is the total input capacity of the Solar Hub 2000. The 2400 watts mentioned on the site simply means that the Hub 2000 has the capacity to be connected with panels up to 2400 watts in total in terms of maximum power output and performance of the system as a whole. But be careful. Even if we produce approximately 2400 watts, only 1800 watts will actually reach the system. We know very well that indeed the solar panels are rated for 2400 peak watts. This will really be the absolute maximum that will be produced, and it is important to note that this is the upper limit. Generally, we will produce a little less, but this can vary depending on several factors. So be careful, since we're talking numbers, each input should not be below 16 volts and a maximum of 60 volts, as this range is crucial for optimal performance. Similarly, in terms of amperes, we are looking at approximately 32 amperes input. So be very careful, because you know that the panels can be connected either in series or in parallel, and you need to know that N, series is the volts, sorry I am wrong. We laugh, it's the volts that add up. In series it's the volts that add up, and in parallel it's the amps that add up. So it's important to keep an eye on it. I didn't say anything wrong, I'll double check, it's not a big deal, I'll add an asterisk if that's the case. So there you have it. We're on the second number and the last number is 1200 watts. So 1200 watts, which is the power, applies to two outputs. The output from the 2000 hub to the battery, and also the maximum that can be delivered to the house, respectively in total, and additionally to ensure optimal performance. And that will depend on the specific type of microinverter you decide to use, because the entire Zendure system, which includes the 2000 hub, the battery and the solar panels, operates entirely on direct current, ensuring efficient energy conversion. And to convert the alternating current that goes into your house, you'll need a microinverter. So this microinverter will collect the direct current electricity, transform it, and of course, it has a capacity to store it, ensuring efficient and safe performance. So, the one that's currently provided in the kit, the one I got in the Zendure kit, is a microinverter from the brand Hoymiles, but there are plenty of other brands that are compatible with the Hub 2000. But this one has a capacity of 800 watts, so even if I can output 1200 watts, the microinverter is limiting me and I can only inject 800 watts into the house. So it's very important to know this, to understand if you just need 800 watts, which very often will be more than enough unless you have electric heaters or if you are running machines, ovens, etc. all the time. But anyway, it's indeed crucial to know in terms of numbers and technical specifications. Sorry, we are actually talking about IP65 and you can see I'm outside, so there's no problem putting this outside, preferably a bit protected. You can see I have a roof that provides minimum protection, though much less for the battery. But we'll talk about the battery later. It's not too serious since it's also very well protected. In terms of warranty, the 2000 hub is guaranteed for 10 years and the AB2000 battery is guaranteed for 15 years because it's an LFP battery with cycles up to 6,000 cycles, if I'm not mistaken, 6,000 cycles indeed, for 70% of the capacity. Still on the additional technical features and specifications before we move on to the exciting unboxing of this innovative solution, well, it's simply that the solution, as you can see, is designed to be outside and can withstand extremely low temperatures as low as -20 degrees because the battery has an advanced integrated heating system to always operate at its full potential. Alright, let's get started. So now we're going to unbox all these boxes. I had shown you the various different boxes and the subsequent unboxing results on my Instagram account. My Facebook, feel free to follow me as I regularly post small products that I receive, giving you a sneak peek of what's coming up on the blog. So, we will simply and carefully start with the unboxing and detailed initial setup of the Hub 2000, which is the primary focus of this video. So first of all, we will get a box with accessories that come with the package, including but not limited to various types of connection cords and the wall mounts necessary for installation. So of course, there's also a detailed, comprehensive and informative manual, this time in French. It is quite nice indeed. We know that Zendure is very well established in Germany and is also trying to expand significantly and capture market share in the energy storage solutions sector from EcoFlow and Blue Yeti in France. So the cable that will connect the Hub 2000 to the battery is an IP65 cable, and then there are various connectors that will allow you to establish a secure and stable connection with the microinverter. You also see a small plastic Y-shaped system because there are several positives at the output. Sorry, there is one positive and one negative at the output of the Hub 2000. However, at the input of the microinverter, you will need to connect multiple times. Underneath this pack of accessories, we have the main unit, the big unit. It has some weight to it, not as much as the battery, of course. It weighs 5 kilo, and you can see that I am quite comfortable carrying it. So we can clearly see the MC4 connectors, which are clearly visible and are the standard for all solar equipment. Below, we will have the small screw thread for the Wi-Fi antenna and the socket to connect to the battery. On the front, there is a power button and a pairing button for Wi-Fi, so it's the same as always. You simply press briefly to just power it on and press for a long time to reset the Wi-Fi. On the front, there are also indicators that will let you know if the device is on and if the battery is connected. and if the Wi-Fi is completely on. Alright, now let's move on to unboxing the AB2000 battery. As its name suggests, this device has a capacity of 2 kilowatt hours, which is a measure of energy storage. It can store and provide a total of 2 kilowatt hours. That is to say, for those who are not familiar with this unit, if a device consumes 1000 W continuously for a period of time, you will have approximately 4 hours of autonomy. If a device consumes 2000 watts, you will only have about 1 hour of autonomy. So here are the small and useful accessories that are provided in the package. It's not just a wall mount, rather they are special hooks that allow you to securely attach the battery to a wall. So, especially the last battery in the column, because these batteries, and this is what I loved when I discovered Zendure at the IFA in Berlin, I made a video for you, is that the batteries stack, which saves a huge amount of space. There's no need for cables between the different batteries, they just stack. You remove the cap from the bottom of one battery, remove the cap from the top of another battery, and poof poof, you have them on your floor. And so the UP2000 system can accommodate 4 AB2000 batteries, which is almost 8000 Wh, approximately 1000 watt-hours of batteries, and therefore autonomy. So here the battery is a bit heavier in terms of weight. You can see that I'm struggling a bit, honestly, to take it out. But yeah, it weighs almost more than 20 kilos, if I remember correctly, as you can see. I didn't note that on my sheets. It weighs a lot. You should also know that these hooks are important. If you start stacking 4 batteries, the column, even though it's very heavy, it would be better if it doesn't tip over. So these small hooks will securely fasten it to a wall. So overall, that's definitely pretty good. Once again, a small manual in French. Well, no big issues here, definitely. The manual for the battery, you see here, we have the different connectors on the top. Here, we will carefully connect the cable provided with the AB2000, and the connector goes underneath, securely and firmly. So, the solar panels that come with the large €2000 kit are flexible solar panels, which means you can put them on balconies, even if the balconies aren't straight, including rounded balconies. We will be able to install them. These panels, each with dimensions of approximately 1 meter by 1 meter, or even approximately 1 meter 10 by 1 meter 10, have a maximum capacity of 210 peak watts. So, per box we have 2 panels, which means we have approximately 420 peak watts, and the kit comes with 2 boxes, so 4 panels. That makes 820 peak watts of solar capacity. The connectors, as you might indeed expect, are still MC4, and therefore it's standard. You can connect them in any manner that suits your specific needs. What is provided in terms of accessories is simply the Y cables that are also included in the package. Since, as I told you, there are 2 inputs, but I have 4 panels, what we are going to do is connect 2 panels together with a Y cable and then plug them into one input. So the 2 male MC4Y cables and the 2 female MC4Y cables, which are essential for the setup, are provided. And metal zip ties are also provided. So, well, that's for mounting on the balcony, if you have railings, etc. As you will see, I deliberately and carefully put it on the roof of my garden shed and securely with some just simple self-drilling screws. Well, the metal hedgehog, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Well, it's not a big deal, it will always come in handy. The last unboxing of this video is simply the micro-inverter, which comes with its cable to connect it to the house. So it's a big cable that goes directly over there. It's a standard cable on one side, of course, a European plug. You see here I actually had the smart satellite, which was also provided by Endure. So it's a remote controlled socket and more. The advantage is that depending on what this outlet draws, the hub will indeed activate or not. We will discuss this further in the different operating scenarios. And so finally, indeed, the micro-inverter from Hoymiles, which is rated for 800 watts output. Alright, let's start using this kit a little bit more. Simply, you need the Zendio app to get started, which you can easily find available for download on the iOS App Store or on Google's Play Store on your device. You install it, create an account, and then you'll just need to make a small connection. So, either you connect the microinverter to the Web 2000 and to your house, ensuring a stable and efficient power supply, or you directly connect the Hub 2000 with the cable to the battery, where there will likely already be a bit of charge, and we will automatically detect the hub with Bluetooth. This setup allows for seamless integration and optimal performance of your energy system. Then, you just need to reset the Wi-Fi by holding down the button for a long time, and you'll be able to enter your home Wi-Fi network information. Next comes the setup. You will need to specify what type of microinverter, since once again, you can buy the Hub 2000 on its own or with the kit. So here, once again, it was, as expected, a microinverter from Hoymiles. Many other models and major brands are compatible, such as the ones I use. I then specify the maximum power output that my microinverter can deliver, and overall, that is it. You'll simply just need to set up the specific type of operation you want to perform in this context. What is it going to do? It will capture the solar energy, send it to the microinverter, and then distribute it. If you produce more than 800 watts, the excess will go into the battery. Well, that's already not bad, but we can definitely do significantly better, since we don't always have to inject 800 watts into the house. In fact, the energy baseline, or the minimum for French households, is 300 watts. So, generally we don't need to set it to the maximum. What can we do? We can have several scenarios, so in the app we will simply go and see, and you can see that here I am in Smart CT mode. We will look at the different modes. It's important to explain to you how it works. So, battery priority mode. When you select it, you can essentially specify that from a specific time period to another time frame, the battery charging process will be prioritized. For example, I produce a lot of solar energy, so I will limit to 100 watts what I send to my house. That can't be adjusted, it's 100 watts. The rest goes into the battery and I'll use the battery later. It's basic. It's a mode of operation that I set up right away. Then I quickly switch to the appointment mode. And there we can decide based on the sun or not what we want. So for example, from 9 AM, I was outputting 0W. So starting from exactly at 9 AM sharp, everything went into the battery with the B2000 and the SolarFlow Hub 2000. So that from approximately 10 PM, I consume around 150 watts from the battery power source. So basically, after the sun has set, I no longer have my large setup that you see right here producing solar energy for me, so I generally prefer to rely on the battery, especially during the evening. So that's what I did. I just set it to 150 watts to try to spread my consumption a little bit throughout the night. And it was actually really quite good. And then there was the absolutely incredibly smart pairing system. So unfortunately, I no longer have the smart plug registered, but we can say, well, the smart plug is connected, I don't know, to my fridge, my water heater, and maybe even my coffee maker. Well, as soon as my water heater needs it, we'll unlock the power to draw from the battery and possibly also from the solar panels if it's during the day. But not long ago, actually, so I've been thoroughly testing the solution for a month and a half now, recently. So, I was lucky to see her for a while, but for the past week I've been incredibly privileged enough to move to the 4th level, and it's absolutely the best. There's no doubt about it, it just requires a bit more equipment and just a bit more DIY. Since we will be in Smart CT mode, meaning through a perimeter clamp, which is a small clamp that will connect to the incoming cable of your house, so your electrical panel, completely disconnected from it, it will measure the consumption. And depending on what you need, quite simply, the Hub 2000 will output its maximum. If you need 800 watts or more, the Hub 2000 here will output 800 watts. up to 1200 W if your microinverter is compatible. So here you see that I am using a Shelly Pro 3 EM. It's a system that will allow you to measure what is consumed or injected into the power grid. Shelly is really very compatible with Zendure, which is really very great. And you see that I am at minus 700 watts. So I am currently injecting 700 watts, despite the fact that I am drawing power from everywhere. But there you go, minus 700 watts means that overall, normally we shouldn't be reproducing. For example, here I am producing 500 watts with the panels that are here, as you can see on the screen, and I have 481 watts being directly fed back into the battery that is charging. I actually produced quite a lot today. We're indeed looking at it now, so it's not bad. We have peaks at 600 watts. So that's not too bad, because you'll see the panels are not well oriented. They are facing directly west and almost fully exposed. So on a garden shed, it's not great. What you should also know is that I use the Shelly 3 Pro M, which is a device that you might find useful. From Shelly. However, there is the Monitor CT satellite from Zendure, which also avoids opening the electrical panel except to connect the perimeter clamp, but otherwise it's a completely autonomous device that I ordered. It costs 79 euros on the Zendure website. I bought it so I could then install this solution at mes pans. So as you can see, the panels have been installed for a while. They are starting to get dirty. I will definitely need to clean them, but they are still producing as much as you can see in the video here in the demo presentation. And the tilt isn't great. So we're very far from the 45 degrees relative to the sun. And as I was saying, we're actually quite far to the west compared to the south, which is over there, as you can see. So here is the battery. As you can see, it's quite a big one. The cable is relatively long, as you can see here. You can easily place it on the ground. For now, I preferred to elevate it, even though I did leave the small protective rubber in place. In conclusion, I think you already understand that I am definitely super excited about this product. It's been over a year I've been keeping an eye on Zendure's products since I discovered them at the IFA trade show and met them again at the CES of Las Vegas. And then, when they offered me to test this prototype that hadn't been released yet at the time, I was obviously super happy to collaborate with such a brand. I am extremely excited. Honestly, this is an absolutely plug-and-play system that's incredibly simple and very easy to use. So, we are on another level, of course, in terms of pricing and features compared to simple solar panel kits that you plug into your house. Once again, the BM, the Sonologies, at around 500, 600 euros for 400 watts. It's not the same thing at all, once again. Here, we have a truly intelligent system that will capture your solar production and manage it efficiently. It's not just about producing and injecting, regardless. There is enough intelligence, and depending on the life scenarios you need, to optimize costs and your solar energy production. So once again, these are not the same prices. The advantage of this kit is that if you already have microinverters, if you already have solar panels, and you don't need the battery for now, if you want to upgrade it, 400 euros. If you already have a high-capacity AB1000 battery, which is 1000 watt-hours, you can potentially consider having an opportunity to install this. If you want to have the complete and comprehensive kit, you should know that Zendure announces a profitability of approximately around 438 euros, 400 euro. Each year, you can generate energy using the comprehensive solar panel kit, which includes an efficient inverter and a high-capacity battery. So the kit at approximately 2,000 euros for the kit with just the battery, and the Hub 2000, which is a kit priced at 1,500 euros, claims 896 euros of savings per year. In this case, I don't really believe it. You would still need to go very strongly, even already the 400 euros. I haven't done the math, I admit. It works pretty well. Indeed. Yes, I definitely had a lot of injections into the house from the battery, at night, etc. Indeed. Sure, Ben. We should simply and easily do the math. Not only do we save 2 kilolov that have been stored safely in the battery, so 2 kilolov represents 2 times 20 cents per day, which is a significant amount, plus what we produce during the day that was directly injected into the house. Honestly, I would not start calculating. It would take more than a year. I should be able to look at it like I did with my solar panel installation, where I gave you a report after a year with figures and you said, yes, I saved this much, this much, this much. Here, a little more perspective will be needed. But in any case, from what I have been able to test over this month and a half, and my other blogger friends, well, Maison et Domotique tested it, Nord Domotique tested it too, they are all very happy. It's really an almost ultimate solution. Precisely, almost ultimately, the negative points of this solution are that, unfortunately, to charge the battery, you need solar power. And so, when there is no sun, we don't charge the battery. And it's not a system like EcoFlow and Blue 80 where, when you want to charge a battery, you plug it into the mains and reuse it. What could eventually be interesting when you have off-peak and peak hours like I do, is that I could charge the battery at night to use it during the day. That's what I do with my EcoFlow system. My Spartan panel allows me to be completely autonomous, but that's not the case here. So this is definitely the biggest downside for me with this particular solution, the only one, because even the price, which I personally think is absolutely reasonable, maybe I'll just definitely purchase the battery, the hub, of course an additional micro-inverter that goes up to 1200 watts, and maybe buy some panels which would certainly be cheaper. There are currently Trina Solar 400 watt panels available for sale for 120 euros. So 120 euros for 400 watts too, it ain't the 800 euros of the flexible panels. So of course if you're lucky enough to have a big garden like me, it's definitely possible. If you live in an apartment with a balcony, flexible solar panels, such as those made from lightweight materials, generally do not require special authorization for installation. Similarly, you should check with your condominium association. It is very important to note that that's very important. So, listen, I sincerely hope you thoroughly enjoyed this and comprehensive presentation of the innovative Zehnder solution just as much as I did. And if you need, I'll put some additional links in the description of this video or on my blog saceraqua.com for more useful information and resources. These links are affiliate links, so if you buy, it won't cost you any extra. It just means that Zehnder will know it came from me and will give me a small commission. So don't hesitate to use my links if you order from Zehnder. And then we'll meet again soon, as I think there will be another video very soon once again about Zehnder products. Stay tuned to my channel. Thank you all. Goodbye.